Guys, what's up? Eric, free NBA daily bets. Today's NBA Cup day, guys. Big day. A lot of games. I think there's 12 games. NBA Cup. For some teams, this will be their first game of the NBA Cup group match play. For other teams, this will be their second game. I'll go over all the games, in-depth breakdown from a betting perspective, injuries, all that jazz, and what I am personally betting. If you want to follow all of my official plays, follow me at Twitter or X at Easy Money Wins. Again, Easy Money Wins. All my official bets. I'm -2 units on the season, but I'm in a really, really good groove right now and looking to add to it and get back into the green starting today. So let's not waste any more time. Let's get right into it, guys. First game up is the Philadelphia 76ers at the Orlando Magic. And there's been some magic money coming in, guys. There's been some magic money. So it opened at +3 and it kind of sat there for a little bit, but now +3 Orlando. And now it's moved to -1 Orlando. So I do the show the night before, so it's like 11 o'clock Eastern time on the East Coast. So that's when I'm doing the show most of the times. And so this afternoon opened up +3. Now it is down to -1. And I agree with that move completely. I think it's way too early to be betting on the Philadelphia 76ers right now with just the second game of Paul George and Joel Embiid. But also, with that big of a line move, I'm trying to think, like, is Embiid not going to play or is Paul George not going to play? That's something definitely to keep an eye out for. So, before you want to bet Philly, I would wait until you know for sure Embiid and Paul George are going to play. Jared McCain, the rookie from Duke, he's starting to really play well for the 76ers too, in place of Tyrese Maxey, so that's really good for them. And, they're in a really bad funk right now. Like, they've lost, 7 out of their last 8 games, Philadelphia. Now they're going back on the road here after playing at home against the Knicks. So they lost their 0-1 in group play. Orlando is 1-0 in group play. Orlando beat Charlotte on Tuesday. So Orlando could really cement themselves in this group play. They have a lot of young guys on that roster too as well. This game means a lot to them, for sure. More so than I think it does for the 76ers, even though the 76ers are trying to get their rhythm back and to get wins and to stack wins for themselves. But Wendell Carter. So for Orlando, Wendell Carter Jr. is the only one out. Obviously, Paolo Banchero is out, but he's been out for a while now. So Orlando, this is the final fifth game of the homestand for them, and so I love betting on teams that have been. I think I've bet on Orlando every single game that they've been home this homestand. So. I'm probably going to make it 5 for 5. I'm pretty sure I'm going to bet Orlando tomorrow. I love the line move from +3 to -1. I think that's the right move. Orlando's gelling. Orlando has the bigs to match up with Joel Embiid. At least, slow him down a little bit. You're not going to stop Joel Embiid, but to get the rebounds and match up physically with him and Drummond. We'll see if Drummond plays. He is questionable. Neither team is playing on Saturday, so there's no back-to-back situations. So each team's going to be fresh. I lean under 221. That's the total for this one. Again, 76ers like to play slow. Orlando likes to play slow. Sorry, let me see if that total held. No. Oh my gosh. That total's down to 213. Wow. That total was 221 this afternoon. Yeah, wow, that thing got hit. That thing got hit hard, guys. Honestly, I would still look under 213.5, 214. I see 214. Philadelphia just plays really slow. Orlando's fine with playing defense. Orlando's not the greatest shooting team. They found better offensive rhythm at home, but again, Philly's probably not going to play fast. This will be a very slow-paced game. Probably first one to 106 points wins, most likely. Maybe 110 points at most. So that's the way I would look at that game. Take Orlando first quarter, first half, full game, and under 213.5. All right, next game, guys. We got 12 games to go over, so we're going to power through all these. Next one, you got the Miami Heat at the Indiana Pacers. For Indiana, Neesmith and Nembhard are still out. They're starting shooting guard and starting small forward. They are playing starters heavily right now. So the only bench players that they played a lot on, Wednesday against Orlando was TJ O'Connell, Jarace Walker, and Obi Toppin. So those were like really the three heavy bench guys that they have. In Indiana, they were really known for having a really, really good bench, right? Or at least a deep bench. And so, they're losing that with Nembhard and Neesmith being out. And then also a scheduling spot. This is a home and home. So these two teams play again on Sunday. Obviously this game's going to mean a lot more because this is the NBA Cup. And obviously Indiana's very accustomed to the spot. They went to the finals last year for the NBA Cup and lost to the Lakers. So they know how to win these games. They know how to prepare for these moments. They thrive in these moments last year. And, they thrive in big moments in general. Like they beat the Knicks Game 7 at Madison Square Garden. So, and then they rose to the occasion against the Celtics. Even though they got swept, they were like in pretty much every single one of those games against the Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals. So Indiana, I've been saying this, guys, if you've been listening to the podcast, they are inconsistent as crap. They alternate wins, losses. They play up to their competition. They play down to their competition. Okay? I mean, this goes back to last season. So, I'm not just, saying, oh, I know them this year. No, guys. I bet the NBA for, the last 3 years heavily. Okay? So, Indiana, this was their same pattern last year. They rise up to the occasion. So, again, they lost their last game at Orlando. What are they going to do? They're probably going to win here. I like Indiana, even though they have a kind of a shorthanded bench. Jimmy Butler is going to be the Heat will be without Jimmy Butler in this one. Miami is 0-1 in the NBA Cup. They lost to Detroit on Tuesday, and that was the first game that they lost in the NBA Cup. And again, Eric Spoelstra called a timeout. He did not have a timeout, so he got a technical with 1 second left in overtime, and Detroit hit the game-winning free throw, and they got the ball. So, that was a blunder. But I still only can look Indiana's way. Miami, they're a disciplined group. They've played a lot of basketball last year without Jimmy Butler, and they still know how to play a good brand of basketball. I still like Indiana at home. I think that's a very good advantage to them. Let's see what the line's at now. It's -4. So yeah, I'm comfortable with -4. There's some -3.5s out there still. I'm comfortable with -4. I'm probably going to bet that tomorrow morning as soon as I wake up, and I will be betting first quarter, first half. So normally, if you've been following me on Twitter at Easy Money Wins, I do bet a lot of first quarter, first half, full games because I piloted it last year and it worked out really, really well for me. So, it's working well until it proves me otherwise. I'm just going to keep doing it. So, yeah, I'm looking first quarter, first half, full game for Indiana. The over-under is 227. That is going down, and I agree with that. And now, so a little side piece is that the NBA Cup, and I misspoke about this on Tuesday's podcast because I was talking about taking unders and taking unders. The NBA Cup's tiebreakers for the group stage is margin of victory. Well, first it's head-to-head, but say you're tied 2-2 and after this, and into the group stage. It goes down to margin of victory, so how much you beat the other team by collectively in all 4 games that you play. And then the next one is total points scored. So, it's incentivizing teams to run up, the amount of points that they score. So points for. So, but if you saw the first game, and then also I look back to last year too, teams weren't trying to just run and gun the entire time. They were trying to win their style. They just wanted to get the win. If the points came, the points came. So I thought that was important to share just because don't just blindly bet totals over tomorrow. I don't think that's a good way to go about it. I still like Orlando and Philly. If Orlando's up 15 in the fourth quarter, I still think they'll probably slow the game down and, try to focus on winning the game instead of just running the score up. So, again, it's just something to think about with these totals. And, this total with Indiana, is dropping from 230 It was like 2:30 this afternoon, and now it's 227.5. I agree with that move. I really do. The Heat play slow. The Heat don't have a ton of well, I mean, they have good shooters, but they don't have anybody that can create except for Bam Adebayo right now. So, and then the Pacers, they know how to slow it down as well too. So I do lean under 227.5 there for that game as well. Okay, guys, let's keep it moving. We've got the next game, the Detroit Pistons at the Toronto Raptors. Let's see if this line moved, because this line opened up. Yeah, see, this line moved as well. The Raptors were 2.5-point favorites, and I was thinking to myself, no freaking way the Toronto Raptors can be favorites against anybody except for maybe the Wizards. And yeah, that's it in my opinion. So the Pistons are now the favorite. The Pistons are -1. I still love the Pistons there. There are some injury concerns for Detroit, though. Let's see. So Jaden Ivey is questionable. Fontecchio, the backup power forward, small forward, is doubtful. And Tim Hardaway Jr. is doubtful. He went off like in a wheelchair on Tuesday's game. So Raptors are 0-1 in their NBA Group Cup standings. They lost to Milwaukee on Tuesday, and the Pistons beat the Heat on Tuesday. So they're 1-0. So again, Pistons, a younger team. Well, both teams are young. So I mean, both teams are going to try to play their hardest for this. And I mean, but bottom line is, even though the Pistons are a little short-handed potentially, I really want Ivy to play. I really do. But Malik Beasley is very good offensively, shooting the ball. You still have Tobias Harris and then Jalen Duren and Cade Cunningham. Though that's still a really, really good starting five, right? So, obviously you want Fontecchio as like bench depth and Hardaway Jr. for sure too. But I still think there's enough there for the Pistons to take this against the Raptors. And again, this is the NBA Cup, guys. These games really do matter. This tournament is so good for the NBA because you get every team knows that they're in play for this. Every team knows that they have a chance to win money. So the first place team will win $1 million per player. The second place team, I believe, is like $500,000 per player. So teams are playing hard for this, guys, and it's fun. They changed the court. They changed the jerseys, I think, too. I mean, it's a really good thing for the NBA, and it's also great for a betting perspective because you want to bet on motivated teams, and so it's almost like the NBA playoffs in a sense. It really is. So, all right, guys, let's keep it going with this game. It is a little concerning. The Pistons are off 2 overtime games, and this will be their 3rd game in 4 nights. But I mean, gotta go, gotta give it your all. And the Raptors also played. I don't think the Raptors did. The Raptors play on Wednesday? I forget. I don't think they did. No, they did not, because this is their first game back. The Raptors off of their long road trip. So yeah. They do play at Boston on Saturday. For the Raptors, and so I mean this is the first of a back-to-back, but. I mean, they're going to give it their all. They're going to give it their all. The Raptors are. So I wouldn't pay that back-to-back. They don't think they're going to beat Boston. So they're going to focus on beating the Pistons. But I still like the Pistons to win. That over-under is 230. Oh, wow. Dang, it dropped to 224. Wow, these totals are dropping crazy. 224? I like that over. Huh, that's interesting. Wow, these totals are dropping. Okay, I like over 224, guys. I do. I mean, Raptors don't play defense. Pistons might be tired. Raptors are going to play hard. Raptors can shoot. They have some guys that are shooting well. You know what? I need to put that on my short list. I think it's going over 224. People don't give. I mean, the Raptors are feisty. Detroit likes to slow the pace down, but I mean, 224 against the Raptors, I'm not buying that, guys. I think it's going over 224. Okay, let's go to the next game. We have the Washington Wizards at the Atlanta Hawks. I'm already in play on this game. And so, this is important. Follow me at Twitter. Sometimes I get ahead of these line moves, and I did for this one. I bet as soon as Trae Young was ruled in, I went straight to Twitter, released my bet of Hawks -5.5. Now it's up to Hawks -8. So I got some really good closing line value on this game for sure. Both of these teams have already played 2 times this year, and the Wizards beat them both. It was a home and I guess call it home and home or home and away. Like first they played in Atlanta, Wizards beat them outright as like a 7-point dog, and then the Wizards went to DC, hosted the Hawks 2 days later, and then beat them again. So I think Trae Young played in one of those games, but he didn't play in the other. I think so. But anyways, Trae Young is in this game, and then DeAndre Hunter. He had a personal matter. That's why he was missing time. He looks to be able to go and play in this game as well. So that's important. All the starters are back for Atlanta, which is crazy, right? They got Trae Young, Dyson Daniels, DeAndre Hunter, Jalen Johnson, and Clint Capella. So that's a pretty damn good starting five, honestly. I mean, it is. It's very good. So all the motivation in the world. Everybody's healthy for the Hawks pretty much. That really matters. And they've lost to the Wizards 2 times this year already. And the Hawks beat the Celtics in the group stage. So in terms of the standings, Atlanta could really put a stronghold on their group and win their group. So if they win this game, they just have 2 more games left. If they win those 2 games, or if they even go split the last 2 games, they will probably be the group stage winner, which is huge for them, right? I mean, it's huge for any of these teams, guys. I mean, it's $1 million per person. I mean, even if you're making like $100 million, off like a 5-year, $100 million contract, you're making 20 million this year, but like, another million, like, yeah, come on, let's go get this thing. So these guys are amped up. They're ready to go. Let's see back-to-back situations. No back-to-backs for these teams. They play on Sunday, both of them. So Wizards are healthy. Wizards ran into a really good Spurs team the other night, but they were battling. The Wizards were battling in that one, and they're healthy. They're on a 6-game losing streak, though. And honestly, at this range that the point spread's at right now, I mean, there's an 8.5. I don't trust Atlanta, even though I did bet Atlanta minus 5.5. That's kind of me hoping that like Atlanta's winning by 3 or 4 at the end of the game, and then Washington fouls them, and then they get to like 6-7 point win. Like somewhere around there, like playing the free throw game at the end. But at 8.5, I mean, if it keeps climbing, I think there's a lot of good value on the Wizards +9. I could see this game landing right at 7, right at 8, right at 6, like somewhere in there. I could easily see that. So, but I'm probably going to be betting the Hawks first quarter, first half as well in this game. There's just something about the Hawks on a Friday night in the A. There's just something about it. Guys. Like this team and that crowd, like they get up, man. Friday night, that place is going to be jumping. I wouldn't be surprised if the Hawks blow them out. I really wouldn't. But the Wizards, their 3 rookies, Sarr, Keyshawn George, and Bob Carrington. Like those are good rookies, guys. I like what Washington's building there. Jordan Poole went off for 42 points the other night. Kyle Kuzma's back. I like what the Wizards are doing. I think we're going to be able to make some money with the Wizards here in December once they get some more rhythm about themselves. And as long as we're getting these like +8.5s, I think there's going to be a lot of good value on the Wizards moving forward. The total is at 237. It is going up a little bit because I think it was at 236 earlier when I checked. So, honestly, guys, I think Washington team total over is a really good play. The game over is a good play. I'm going to write that down. Over 237. I think this game goes over. I think Washington gives a really good fight. Let me write this down here. I'll try. And then Washington, Atlanta over 237. Because, guys, Atlanta plays fast. They don't really play good defense. Washington definitely doesn't give a damn about defense. And they can score, too. Washington's been scoring the ball. So the team total for Washington tomorrow is probably going to be, so you divide the total by 2. So 237 divided by 2 is like 118-ish, around there, 118. And then you subtract half of the spread. So it's at 8, so 4. So 118 minus 4 is 114. So it'll probably be like 114.5 for the Wizards for them to get to 115. I don't know. That's still kind of steep. Still, even for the Wizards, that's kind of steep. But I could see a shootout in this game, guys. I really do think it goes over 237. I think I'm going to be in play for that. I really do. Okay, enough of that game. Let's go on to the next game. We've got the Brooklyn Nets at the New York Knicks. So the Knicks are, let me see my notes real quick so I don't miss anything. These teams play again on Sunday. And again, this isn't like a real, I mean, it is a road game for the Nets, but they live in the same city as the other team. So, like, this really isn't like awful travel. It's like, like the Nets are going to go home, sleep in their own beds. Like, this is, it's Manhattan, Brooklyn to Manhattan. So they play again on Sunday, still at Madison Square Garden. Brunson is probable. Karl Anthony Towns is questionable with a knee. But Karl Anthony Towns, after their loss to Chicago on Wednesday, he was seen shooting free throws like way late after the game had already been over. So I think that's smokescreen. I think Karl Anthony Towns does play in Friday's game against the Nets. I mean, this is a big NBA Cup game, like I keep mentioning, and the Knicks are 1-0 in their group. They beat the 76ers on Tuesday, so they have a chance to go to 2-0 in their group. I would be very, very surprised if Karl Anthony Towns does not play. Okay, everybody else looks pretty healthy for the Knicks, so that's good. I think Deuce McBride looks good to go as well. So they have been alternating wins, losses. The Knicks have. Let's see. So they just lost against Chicago at home by 1 point. So I do like them to rebound here and get the win. For the Nets, Ben Simmons is in, so no injury designation for Ben. Dorian Finney-Smith is probable. Nick Claxton is questionable. If you're betting the Nets, you definitely want Nick Claxton in because the Nets don't have a ton of depth, and the Knicks are going to play their starters heavy minutes. So, I mean, I would expect a lot of starters from both teams to play heavy minutes. This will be the Nets' first NBA Cup game. They're off a blowout loss to the Celtics on Wednesday. And so, like, with all that said, both teams are rested here. Both teams don't play again on Sunday, so they don't have day off on Saturday. No travel for either team. This is a good spot. This is a good spot. The line is at +10, +11, and like guys, I think that's ridiculous. I really do. I think that is absolutely ridiculous number. The Nets are the best against the spread team in the NBA right now. They have 9 covers to 2 no covers. So, and I mean, usually I don't like to. Usually when a team is like that high up, like, they're not going to just keep covering spreads. But if you're gonna give me freaking 11 points with a team that is like been playing teams who are, I mean, they lost to the Cavaliers who are like 12-0. They lost to them by 5. They lost to the Celtics before Wednesday's game. They lost to them by like 4 points in overtime, and they really should have won that game. So, like, you're telling me the Nets in a rivalry game is going to get 11 points? I mean, the Knicks, when they do win, they can win by margin, but man, guys, that number feels way too freaking high. I like the Nets a lot at +11. I think I'm going to get there. The over-under is at 215. I still like the Knicks to win, guys. But, I mean, 11 points, like, that is through all the key numbers, essentially. Like, that is a ridiculous line. A ridiculous line for a team like the Nets that has been playing really well on the road. Again, they took Boston to overtime on the road. And then they beat the Pelicans on Tuesday or Monday on the road. I know the Pelicans aren't that good, but still, like, it's hard to win in the NBA on the road. And the Pelicans almost won that game. Like, they fought their asses off. So, like, I'm sorry, guys. That's a freaking crazy line. They're forcing my hand. So, like, a good example of this is tonight. So, like, I talked about this on my podcast yesterday. I talked about how the Dallas Mavericks have lost 3 games in a row, and like they're 1 game under 500. This is the last game of the road trip. They want to win this game. And I said, if I wanted to bet Dallas, and I had not looked at the line yet, and I said, if they have a -6.5 or a -6, I think that's a spot to bet Dallas because the Phoenix Suns were -6, -5.5 point favorites against the Jazz on Tuesday night. So I knew they were going to grade Dallas a little bit better, but they jacked it up because they knew the spot. The bookmakers knew the spot. They knew that they were on a 3-game losing streak. The Dallas Mavericks were. They knew Utah wasn't any good. And so they made them like +9.5, like to open. And it was +8.5. And then I said, and I know Kyrie didn't play tonight, but I'm telling you, even if Kyrie played, I'm telling you, I really don't think it would have made a difference. And what happened? The Utah Jazz won outright tonight by 2. So, just because it's a spot, just because like I think the team's gonna win, and they're off a loss and all that stuff, and like, hey, they're gonna play well per se. If the value doesn't add up to that, or like, if the line is so high, like it just doesn't make any sense, guys. It doesn't. And so like in this spot, like yeah, I like the Knicks to win, but cover by that much? No, I definitely do not like that. Okay, sorry, I went a little long there. Anyways, just had to say that because that's a really important spot, guys. Because there's so many spots where like you're like, dang, I'm definitely gonna bet this team. They're all 3 losses, but just like tonight, like the Mavericks, no, they still lost, guys. Like, I mean, you have to really look at that number at the spread and be like, does this make sense to lay it with? Even though I feel good about the Mavericks winning tonight, like, no, it's not. So. Yeah, just had to get that out there. The over under for this game is 215. And I don't know, these two teams play slow, especially the Nets. Like, I mean, it's hard to take these teams over their total right now. The team total for the Nets would be interesting to bet because it'd be, let's see, 108 here, and then -5 would be like 102.5 for the Nets. That seems very doable. I'm going to write that down. Nets over 102.5. Nets over team total over 102.5. I mean, that seems very doable, even for the Nets on the road. So I do like that. Yeah, I lean. I mean, that's a tough total. Like, it could go either way. It really could go either way. So. But yeah, Nets +11. I love that. I don't think I'm going to bet them first quarter, first half. I kind of like the Knicks first quarter, first half. And I do that sometimes where I take one team in the first quarter, first half, and then I'll take the other team full game. I think I'm going to do that here. I think the Knicks come out and they play really, really well out of the gate. Madison Square Garden should be jumping tomorrow. Should be a really, really, really great basketball atmosphere. Okay, let's keep it going. We've got the Chicago Bulls at the Cleveland Cavaliers. And let me see what my notes say for the injuries. Bulls beat the Knicks Wednesday, like I just mentioned. Everybody's healthy for Chicago except for Lonzo. Lonzo Ball is still out. They just lost to the Cavaliers, so these teams just played each other in Chicago on Monday, and the Bulls lost by 6. They played them very well. And they host Houston at home on Sunday to the Bulls. So no back-to-back here going for either of these teams. The Cavs are still 12-0. They're at home Sunday against the Hornets. So really good rest spot. Jared Allen and Evan Mobley are probable for this game. And, kind of like I said, the number's at -10, -10.5. But this has kind of been the trend, right? The Bulls don't start games well. And I know the Cavaliers, this is like another occasion for them to rise to. And so I like the Cavaliers first quarter, first half. I think they're going to come out freaking ready to go. I think they're like Cleveland's a great basketball town. The atmosphere should be really, really good for this game. And the Bulls don't start well. Like they have not started well. They've had a couple wins where they've been down by 20, 30 points and come back and win. So I do lean the Cavaliers to start fast at +11 for the Bulls full game. I mean, it's kind of hard because the Cavaliers can really pour it on and everything, but I do lean the Bulls covering that +11. I do not think I'm going to get there with that. But, Jared Allen, Evan Mobley, I want to see if they're going to play for sure. Once I know that they're in, I'm probably going to bet Cavaliers first quarter, first half, even at a very tall number of like -4 in the first quarter and -7.5 for the first half. I am still probably going to bet them, um, the Cavaliers at that high number for the first quarter and the first half. I'm going to mark that in my notes. I did mark down the Bulls team total though, because let's see. I think this total keeps climbing though. Yeah, this total's climbed. This was not 237. It was at this afternoon. I mean, it is now. Yeah, it was at 232. Wow, is that it? So that total's jumping up there. Bulls team total, I wrote it down, but I don't think I'll write it. I don't think I'll get to it now. I mean, it's like 113.5. So, I mean, I don't think that's a good bet. It's kind of like too hard to call in my opinion. So, but yeah, I don't think I'm going to get there with Bulls plus 10, but we'll see. We'll see, guys. Okay. Next game, we have the Los Angeles Lakers at the San Antonio Spurs. Lakers are 3.5-point favorites. I see a 2.5 out there. Over unders at 225, 226.5. So somewhere around there. For the injury report, Lakers have Rui Hachimura is questionable. Anthony Davis is probable. I think Jackson Hayes is questionable too. I have to double check Jackson Hayes. So they're on a 3-game win streak, but that was all at home. Last time the Lakers were out on the road, they went 1-4 on their 5-game road trip. So now they are back on the road. We'll see how they do. They are at New Orleans on Saturday, so this is the first game of a back-to-back. But again, New Orleans is not playing well. So the Lakers, they're not looking ahead at all to playing the Pelicans. That game means pretty much nothing to them. So this is the NBA Cup. Again, they're the champs. They need to defend their title, right? So it's a very good game because the Spurs are playing well right now. They've got Devin Vassell back. Everybody else is healthy on the roster. We'll have to see about Malachi Branham, but he's just a bench player for the Spurs. They're playing well. Lakers are playing well. JJ Redick is getting the most out of that team right now that he benched D'Angelo Russell for Cam Reddish. The defense looks good. They're playing well as a unit. There's a lot to like for the Lakers. But then again, like I said, the Spurs, there's a lot to like with them. This is also the first of the back-to-back for the Spurs. They play the Mavs on Saturday, so equal rest spot for both of these teams. And I do lean the Lakers minus 3.5, minus 2.5. This is the last game of a 5th-game homestand for the Spurs, so they're very feeling comfortable at home and they're playing well. So this is a tough game, guys. As much as I think the Lakers are the right side, I really can't disrespect the Spurs and what they're doing. And I know that the Spurs are going to play really, really hard. And I wouldn't be surprised if the Spurs win. I still think I am going to bet the Lakers, just because they're a team that's been together longer and they know how to win these games last year and they got up for them. And but I don't know. I kind of get a weird feeling San Antonio might come out and play really, really well. So over under wise, it's at 225 and 226, like I said. The Lakers have been playing faster. San Antonio plays slower, but then San Antonio has caught their offensive rhythm. I lean over 226.5, but I don't feel great about it. So that's that game, guys. Next game is Phoenix Suns at the Oklahoma City Thunder. And the Suns, obviously they have no Kevin Durant. And Nurkic is questionable. And Grayson Allen, I believe, is questionable as well. Bradley Beal is out. So, they're running Chris Dunn, the rookie. They're running with Royce O'Neal starting, with Devin Booker, Tyus Jones, and Nurkic. I think Nurkic is going to play in this game. But we'll see. We'll see. OKC, they've, no new injuries besides Chet Holmgren, obviously. Alex Caruso is questionable. So OKC's been running small ball out there. They've been running like a 6'6" lineup, 6'6" lineup is like their tallest guy. Their point guard Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is their tallest guy that they've been running out there for their starting unit the last 2 games, ever since Chet Holmgren got hurt. So I would expect them to go back to that. Now, let's see here. This is the 5th game of a 6-game homestand for the Thunder, so they're very comfortable right now. They're playing well at home, so that is something to keep in mind. Sunday, they're at home against Dallas, so this, rest spot. No one's playing on a back-to-back. And then Phoenix does have a little bit of a look-ahead spot, a little bit. I mean, this is an important game for them against OKC now, just for put the NBA Cup aside, playoff tiebreakers. This is important, okay? Because Phoenix and OKC at the end of the season, they may be for a playoff tiebreaker. So you want to win these games. Just, put the NBA Cup aside. So, but Phoenix does play Minnesota, who they got swept by in the playoffs, right? And this is their first meeting this year. I still don't think they're going to look ahead. This is a very important game against OKC, and they're 1-0 in the NBA Cup because they beat the Jazz on Tuesday. For the Thunder, this is their first NBA Cup game this season. So, in my opinion, the point spread is too high at +8. I'm going to be on the Suns. And I know they didn't look good against the Kings the other night, but again, that was their second game of a back-to-back, coming from Utah, which was an altitude, to Sacramento. So that, in my opinion, that really wasn't a very good spot for Phoenix. They played Sacramento much better at home because they just played each other over the weekend. So I think, the day off yesterday for the Suns, I do think a lot of those guys are going to play. I'm going to wait until they're officially in. And then +7.5, I got to take the Suns there. I really do. I'll probably take the Thunder in the first quarter, in the first half, just because the Thunder, I think, they're a younger team too. They're gonna be freaking ready for this moment. They're gonna be ready tomorrow. So, but I do like late. I do like the Suns to hang close and for it to be a close game. But Thunder winning by 3 in the first quarter, winning by 5, and for the first half, I could easily see that. So probably gonna be on Thunder first quarter, first half, and then I'll be on the Suns +7.5 full game as long as all those guys are in. For the total, I do lean over. I think that game against the Pelicans the other night for the Thunder when they went small ball, I think that was just the Pelicans playing like shit, honestly. And I think both those teams scored 60 points total at the end of the first quarter. That game was trending to go over, and then they fell off a cliff in the second quarter. So Phoenix is going to come out. They've got scorers, they've got shooters. Even without Kevin Durant and Bradley Beal, they still have shooters. So the Thunder, they have good scorers as well. And I really like the Phoenix Suns team total over. Let's see, it'll probably be 113 -4. It'll be 109.5. I really like that for Phoenix. I really do like that. So let me write that down, and then I'm going to write OKC. You're right, OKC first quarter and first half. I like that as well. I like them to come out strong. Okay, so that's my thoughts on that game. Okay, before I go to the next game, guys, if you're listening this far, I appreciate it. This podcast, my YouTube channel, my social media following, it keeps growing, and obviously because I'm winning money doing this. And I appreciate you guys listening. If you could give a like, if you could subscribe to whatever it is, anything, comment me on Twitter, comment me on any of my social media. I do respond back. I really do appreciate that stuff, guys. I'm doing this all for free, late at night, every night. So just show some love. That's all I ask. All right, next game. We have the Los Angeles Clippers at the Houston Rockets. These teams just literally played the other night on Wednesday. So Houston kind of took care of them, start to finish. Pretty much almost start to finish. And, they controlled that game late. So, and normally when that happens, I like to look the other way. So I would like to look at the Clippers. And I do respect what Ty Lue is doing over there with the Clippers without Kawhi Leonard, without Paul George this season. And I do respect the Clippers. I really do. But I just think in this moment, the NBA Cup, this is Houston's first NBA Cup game this year, and they're a younger team in certain spots, They're really going to treat this game seriously. And Ime Udoka, the head coach for the Rockets, the former Boston Celtics head coach, he's really good at challenging his team and getting the most out of them. So just because they beat the Clippers on Wednesday, this is the NBA Cup. They're going to change the floor. Like this, the scene will be set, as to so to say. It's go time. It's almost like a playoff game. It feels like. So I expect a good crowd from Houston. I expect Houston to come out and dominate again and beat them. So Houston's very healthy. The Clippers are very healthy as well on their side. No back-to-back for either of these teams. They are playing on Sunday. So great rest spot. Teams go at it again. I really do feel comfortable that Houston's going to win. The spread is -4. I feel fine with -4. I like that. You can take -4. And the total is at 214. I do lean under. Both these teams like to play defense. Both these teams don't mind playing at a slower pace. So I lean under. I'm not going to get there with that. I will be getting their first quarter, first half, full game with the Houston Rockets. Big spot for them. They have a chance to really gain good experience by going deep in this tournament, and I think that they start that tomorrow night. So yeah, I'm going to be on the Houston Rockets for sure, guys. Let me just make sure I have that on my notes. I'm going to write that down. Houston trifecta, first quarter, first half, full game. I will be on the Houston Rockets. Okay, next game. Let's see how many games we got left. 1, 2, 3. We got 3 games left. All right, cool. So next game, Denver Nuggets at the New Orleans Pelicans. Our boy, 3-time MVP, Nikola Jokic, is questionable with a personal matter. So I don't know. Is Jokic, is he expecting a child? I don't know. I don't know what's going on. So whatever's going on with Jokic, when it gets personal designation, my eyebrows kind of raise up. If it's personal, he really might not play tomorrow. So that is significant, obviously, because he does everything for them. He scores, rebounds, and creates for other players. So if Jokic is not playing, as bad as the Pelicans are right now, guys, I would only be able to look the Pelicans. And, don't be afraid to bet the Pelicans, guys, because I bet them on Monday when they played the Brooklyn Nets. And I took them first quarter, first half, and they won first quarter, first half. And, well, actually, no, they did not win first quarter. They won first half. And they were right in it at the end, guys. So, they played hard, shorthanded. They're shorthanded again. Let's take a look at the injury designation for the Pelicans. No new injuries for the Pelicans that I see. This is the first of a back-to-back. Like I said, they play the Lakers at home on Saturday. They have a 6-game losing streak going on. Denver's won 5 straight, but those were 5 straight home games. This is their first road game in a while. They'll be at Memphis on Sunday. So good rest for Denver. I definitely lean the Pelicans if Jokic does not play. I'm probably going to bet the Pelicans if Jokic does not play, especially if it's +4 or better. I can only look the Pelicans' way. Let me see here. Let me write this down. Pelicans +4 if no Jokic. Okay, cool. And you know what? I'm gonna do a trifecta. Honestly, guys, I'm telling you, the Pelicans they play freaking hard as crap in the first quarter, first half. They've been doing that for the past couple seasons. They come out the gates freaking hot. Now, obviously, no Jose Alvarado, no DeJounte Murray, no C.J. McCollum, no Herb Jones. They got a lot of freaking people hurt. No Zion Williamson. They got a lot of freaking people hurt. I still like the Pelicans to come out well tomorrow. I do, guys. I do. Call me crazy or whatever, but I feel pretty good about that. Total wise, over 220. Over unders 220, 221. Especially if Jokic is out. Oh my gosh, I gotta write that down too. Especially if Jokic is out, I could only look under 221. Let me write that down too. New Orleans, Denver under 221 if no Jokic. Because, guys, Jokic creates for them. New Orleans is having trouble with their offense just altogether. Denver's done better defensively. New Orleans likes playing defense. Russell Westbrook running the offense for, well, I guess Jamal. Yeah, Jamal Murray has been back. Actually, hold the phone, guys. Even if Jokic doesn't play, I can't bet the Pels. I can't do it, guys, because Jamal Murray, he'll get his act together. At least I wouldn't want to bet against him not getting his act together with Michael Porter Jr. I know they're without Aaron Gordon still. Jokic, that's a big loss. I don't think I could touch it. I really don't think I could touch that, even if Jokic is out. So yeah, over under. I lean under 221. Okay, next game. We have the Memphis Grizzlies at the Golden State Warriors. Golden State Warriors are hot. Memphis Grizzlies are 7-5 themselves and playing very good ball without Ja Morant. Injury designations for these two teams. No new injuries for Memphis. They're at home Sunday against Denver, like I just mentioned. They're off a close loss to the Lakers, where they were basically in that game the entire second half. Golden State Warriors, they're pretty healthy. Oh, yeah, Brandon Clark is questionable with the toe injury for Memphis, but everybody else that's been playing has been playing. So, and Memphis is a scrappy team, guys. They're bench, like all those guys, Wells, Huff, like all those guys off the bench for Memphis, they play well, guys. Like I said, Taylor Jenkins and that Memphis Grizzlies staff, they know how to groom their young undrafted players and get them to play really well. They're like Miami Heat. Like Miami Heat's very good at developing their players. So are the Memphis Grizzlies, and they play freaking hard every night, guys. So something to keep in mind with Memphis going forward. If you get like plus 7.5 with them, I like that. I like that a lot. I really do. So Golden State, they'll be without DeAnthony Melton. He has like an MCL sprain. Everybody else looks good to go. They're at the Clippers on Monday, so they get 2 days off. The Memphis Grizzlies after this game. The Warriors, or wait, sorry, no. The Warriors have 2 days off after this game. Sorry. They're at the Clippers on Monday. They're off a big win. They had a 1-0 in the NBA Cup. They won on Tuesday. I forget who they played. Oh, the Mavericks, right? Yeah, the Mavericks. Yeah, that was that Klay Thompson return game. Yeah, they're 1-0. Memphis, this will be their first game. I like Golden State early, first quarter, first half. I like them to come out early. Let me see. Golden State Warriors, first quarter, first half. And then, like I said, I don't trust I do trust Golden State to win by a margin, but I more so lean Memphis covering that 8.5. I mean, they're scrappy, guys. They really are scrappy. And there's some they're just a scrappy team. I think they hang close with the Warriors, or at least within. They don't get blown out. I think they could lose by anywhere from like 4 to 8 points. I think that's very realistic for them. So that's what I'm leaning for that. The over under, I do lean over. Memphis plays with a lot of pace. Golden State likes to score as well. I lean over 232, and I do lean Memphis team total over because we're getting a lot of value there, right? It'd probably be like 116. It'd be probably like 112.5, 112. I do lean Grizzlies team total over there. Yeah, I like that. Okay. Last game is the Minnesota Timberwolves at the Sacramento Kings. I'm already on this game. I bet as soon as I found out DeMar DeRozan is doubtful for tomorrow and Malik Monk is still not playing, the Timberwolves are on a 3-game losing streak. I just like the Timberwolves to figure it out and get a win here. So I did bet the Timberwolves 4-unit play for me on the money line at like minus 110 odds around there. So I did bet that already. I will be betting them first quarter, first half as well. Sacramento Kings are playing well right now. They are, but it's just too many injuries, just too many guys not playing for them. Keegan Murray and De'Aaron Fox and Sabonis, could they handle the load? They could. They could do fine, but it's just a rally the troop spot for the Timberwolves, and I just think the Kings lose. Now, the Kings already lost to the Timberwolves earlier this season, like the first game of the season for the Kings. And so that is something to think about too. Like the Kings are going to be motivated to try to win this game as well, and it's their home court and it's NBA Cup. But um, I just, you know what? I'm probably not going to bet the Timberwolves first quarter, first half because I could see the Kings coming out and playing well to start the game. I could see that. But full game, as it shakes out, I like the Timberwolves to pull that out. I really do. Over under is at 222, and I lean over there. I do lean over there. The Kings at home, they like to score. They're good. They'll rise up. I'm gonna write that down actually. I kind of like that over. The first game went to 232, so that they played this year. So Minnesota, Sacktown over 222. I'm gonna write like question marks there. I like that actually a lot. Even without DeMar DeRozan, the Kings are still going to be able to score, but I don't know. I'm probably not going to get there. I mean, Timberwolves can play some defense. They got a defensive-minded team, so yeah, guys, that is all of my thoughts, feelings, leans, bets, side, total for every single game. I hope you enjoyed it. Again, follow me at Twitter at EasyMoneyWins for the official plays that I give out. I'm going to have a lot of volume tomorrow. I'm a high volume bettor, especially in the NBA. And yeah, that's what it will be, guys. So let's make some money. Let's get back into the green and let's go. Let's do it.